Okay. I'm not here for a dance. Okay. Today, that song is called Revival, like Soul Revival, which is a great song. But we're here today on a Thursday to talk about our goal revival. Okay, I'm going to take this get up off. Y'all should have seen Martha Pearl. She got so excited when I put all this stuff on for my kids' little costume thing that I'm saving for grandkids. I put on all this get up. She got so excited, like we are surely going somewhere if we are getting this dressed up. So hilarious. So we are here to talk about your goal revival. Now, we're on the last quarter of our year. That means to some people, might as well give up. We only have 3 months left. But for the rest of us, particularly us next level mamas, that means we still have a quarter of the year. That's 25%. I don't know anybody that would walk by a quarter on the ground and not pick it up. A penny, for sure. A nickel, maybe. But if you see a quarter, you're like, God is sending me money. It's a quarter. So a quarter is worth a lot. I gotta get rid of this. This baby is heavy. So you have a quarter of the year. And we all have goals from the beginning of the year. But some of them you may have already given up on. This is the time that we can actually have a goal revival. Pick it back up and decide, like, do I still kind of want this? Because this is what happens. We kind of tell ourselves that I didn't really want that. It's not that important. But what if it is something that you really did kind of want? Now, I try to be creative, and I'm not that creative. So I try to think of things that start with the letters TH, because it's Thursday, so like a Thursday theme. I don't know about y'all. Have you ever Googled words that start with Thursday? Well, there's Scrabble answers, and there's a lot of words that start with Thursday, but a lot of them you just can't even use. Theatrical, well, that was theatrical, yeah. I am thinking about things to get us toward our goals. So I thought, first of all, Thursday, you got to start thinking. Think about the thing that, like, if I could just get halfway there, like, that would be great. What's that one thing that you still kind of want, but you've given up on yourself, and you just need a little cheerleading, like, maybe I could pull off a little bit of it, and that would be great because that would boost me into next year. Maybe I could do it next year if it's something huge, like writing a book or running a marathon. You got to think, where am I now, and where do I want to go, and how can I just get partway there? Have you ever gone on a road trip and let's say you're on a road trip and your gas gauge says, well, you're going to Florida, you're only gonna make it like 100 miles away from Florida. Do you ever stop and say, well, I might as well start walking now. There's not a gas station between here and there. Might as well just start walking now. No, if you're going to Florida and you gotta get there and you know there's no gas station, you're gonna drive that car as far as you can, because then maybe you only have to walk the last 100 miles instead of 1,000 miles. You're gonna say, I'm gonna take this car as far as it will go, and then I'll start walking. You wouldn't just start walking now. You would push that gas as far as it would get you back to your original destination. So that's what we wanna do. We wanna think about what is that one thing for you. We all have something. And then we're going to use our brains to, like, how can we make it happen? What ways is it still maybe a little bit possible? And get a little bit excited about it. Now, one of my goals, I'm really on target for a lot of my goals because I'm just obsessed. But one of my goals that a lot of you know, I just have a goal of getting a little bit more flexible. And I have gotten more flexible. But this last month, I've not been able to go to yoga. That was one of my main goals. And I just haven't. I've had conflicts of schedule that I haven't been able to go. Now, it's a big deal to me just because I need flexibility. You guys know I'm 291 days away from my 50th birthday. I'm going to get older and I'm going to need flexibility. So when Granny falls, Granny doesn't break a hip. That's my goal. I want flexibility for that reason. And maybe that reason alone, possibly. So I would like to not get injured in all the crazy physical things I do. So flexibility does help with that. Lifting weights helps with bones, keeping them strong, but then flexibility helps also. Plus, I think it'd be really cool if I could, like, do the splits or something fantastic. I don't know. So I'm trying to revive that goal That's one of mine. It's like still one that I pretty much sucked at for the most part. I even got a stretching program and I kind of fell by the wayside of it. I'm like, it just got put on the back burner and I just wasn't able to get to it every day. So I want to revive that goal. What does that look like for me? I've been trying to put my brain around it. And one of the things I'm going to do this next week is rearrange my schedule. Who would have thought? So I'm going to do my workout with my trainer in the afternoon. Because another thing about going right from an intense training session to yoga, I want to die. It's so painful. It makes me just want to. It's so painful. It makes me want to die. No offense to the teacher, but she's very good. But stretching, extensive stretching of lats that are just been shredded by your trainer, it's not comfortable. It's not fun. It's very painful. But I think if I did the yoga first, then I could do the other perfectly fine in the afternoon. So that's one of those I'm reviving, still going for it because I have 3 more months, which is a lot of days. It's a lot of time to work on it. So think about what is your goal that you want to revive. Then I think that a lot of us underestimate ourselves. What if you had, here's another word, thruster. Maybe you have a thruster switch that you didn't even know was there. You haven't even bothered to flip it on because now you can just put on your thrusters and go toward that goal. And that will look different for different people. You have to think about your overall potential because we a lot of times underestimate ourselves, and our human potential is way more than we ever give ourselves credit for or than we ever utilize to get ourselves there. I think it was David Goggins. I don't know if you guys follow him. If not, you should. He's a crazy superhuman person that does superhuman feats, like runs hundreds of miles at a time and does all kinds of crazy stuff. And he says that basically when the average human thinks like, whew, I've given it all I got, I'm done, that you're actually only to 40%. You got to get outside of your brain and go that extra, the other 60% that you have this untapped potential. So think about that. And you have a thruster switch. What does that look like to you where you can just like hoof it toward your destination? Even if you don't make it there, you are running. You're going to get way closer than if you never started running. Another thing is throw yourself all in. That's what we talked about, writing out your goal every day and just having it top of mind and just throw yourself all in. If I wasn't able to exercise in the morning, I just do it in the evening. Like find another way to be like, I'm not gonna give myself excuses anymore because yeah, it's good to coddle yourself a little bit, but it doesn't get you anywhere toward your goal. And that's a hard fact. It's not doing any good to be that kind to yourself all the time because you can push your thrusters on and you can throw yourself back in with loving kindness also. It doesn't have to be with meanness, for sure. And think about it like it's the basketball that's thrown out of bounds. You might need a cheerleader like me just throw it back in at you. Like it's time to throw the ball back in the game and keep going in the game. So I hope you guys will revive a goal. Just find one that you kind of, maybe it was reading 20 books in a year. Did you know that you still have time to do that? Like if you put your mind to it, like I am going to focus, I'm going to do that. If you just said you're going to read 20 all year and now it's only the last quarter, you could still do it. I did that 3 years ago. I was memorizing a book of the Bible. I was memorizing Philippians and it got to, I kind of dawdled around and I knew the first couple pretty good, but then it was coming to the last couple months and I was like, I really said I wanted to do this, but I haven't done it yet. It's that integrity with yourself that you just like, oh, I said I was going to do it and I didn't do it. The more times that you lose that integrity, the looser that relationship gets with yourself where you're like, I don't even believe anything I say anymore. But for me, it was so important for me to keep that goal because I said I was going to do it, that I hoofed it, honestly, not more than 10 minutes a day. It doesn't take that long, but I like put my brain on that and I finished the whole book by the end of December. And I was so proud of myself that there's nothing better than that proud feeling that you get when you finally reach your goal. It's way better than any feeling of relief of like, at least I don't have to work on that. That feeling of relief is temporary, but that feeling of like, I freaking did that, that lasts forever, and that will take you on into your next goal. So let me know what kind of goals you guys are working on, and maybe as a group, we can help you figure out some ways to revive your goal and just think about it every day and to thrust yourself into action. I will see you guys later.